Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. My name is Adam. I'm the community manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and not digitally pictured on your screen, is FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hey, everybody.
And we are back with California Dreamin', the 1973-74 California Golden Seals Boogie Down, Part 17. Jeff, we're currently second place in the NHL.
Yep, first in division by 7 points, so another dozen games to go until the playoffs, but I think we're in good shape here. Joe Malash having a great year in goal. Had a few injuries. I did make a couple little changes since you sent me the save. Did I send somebody down? We had Mark Tardif, who we just picked up in a trade at the deadline, has shin splint, so he's out for a day. So I think I swapped. Oh, no, that's right. I called Eric Vale up, and he's going to play for Tardif tonight. And I swapped Lowell McDonald out, who hasn't been playing well, for Nick Labette. But other than that, pretty much the same as what you were doing. And
Yeah.
we've got the league-leading Detroit Red Wings tonight. So I will put Malash, the starter, in against them. And 1-1 tie. And Ron Buchanan, who's back with us again, gets the only goal for us. Is Tardif healthy? He is not. So we'll go with Denny Aaron, the backup against Pittsburgh. Otherwise, same lineup. And we get shut out 2-0 by Rogie Vachon. And Jim Watson gets hurt on top of that. Oh, that's not good. Fractured foot, 1 to 2 months. So we picked up Ted Harris in a trade at the deadline, didn't we?
Yes.
As insurance, but he didn't. When we got him, we realized he was a lot worse than our scouts actually thought he was. So he's like fourth on our depth chart now. So I
Well,
think,
we got him for nothing. We got him
yeah,
for somebody who we weren't going to sign anyways.
yeah. So he's there just in case we think he'll really badly. But I'm going to call up Bob Neely instead. So we'll give some of the young guys a little bit of time down the stretch here. One thing I noticed, speaking of Watson, I was just looking through the advanced stats.
Jeff, it's 1974. What the heck are advanced stats?
Well, yeah, okay, there's kind of an anachronism, but relative Fenwick, look at Watson. He's just off the charts. I mean, Murdoch, the guy coming in for him, is good too, but he's got an insanely good number, and it's mostly coming from, well, you can see it in the goals against per 62. When Watson's on the ice, our goals against average is 1.74. So he's not generating a ton of offense, but nothing. He's been playing great defensively.
Oh, that's good.
And no, I don't want to delay treatment for Watson. We might get him back for part of the playoffs.
Yeah. Well,
And Tardif is healthy, so swaps out with Vale. Vale didn't really do anything in his little look we gave him, so he can go back down to the minors. And Malash back in against Minnesota, and big 5-2 win. That's good.
all right. Our big thing we found last time was we were dealing with our centers burning out.
Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on that. Lemaire is 97%. That's not too bad. Going to give Huron the start against the Kings in the first half of the back-to-back, and he gets a 2-1 win for us. And we lost another defenseman, Serge Savard this time. Torn hip flexor tendon, 1 to 2 months. I think we're
Yeah.
just far enough out from the playoffs that I think that I'm going to put him on the injured list. Not ideal, but
Well, do you have to put on the injured list? Could you just let him rest?
well, then I might as well put him on the injured list just to open the
Well,
roster space.
I guess.
Doesn't hurt anything. I mean, but putting on, letting him be treated as opposed to having him play hurt for a while. But now we got to bring somebody up, and everybody is 1 star. So I guess Ted Harris, who we got in the trade, does actually get into the lineup, or at least onto the roster. And I really don't want Neely in that first spot. So
I think you need to qualify. We brought back Ted Harris too, right? So
yeah, he had been with us before, and we didn't really do anything with him that time either, did we?
didn't we win a Stanley Cup with him?
Nope. Minor leagues the whole time. I mean, we won the Stanley Cup at that point, but he wasn't on the team.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, no delaying treatment for Savard. Let's hope he heals fast. And no Harris, you can't have Schuberg's number. And the starter, Milosh, goes in against the Leafs, who are one of the worst teams in the league right now. 6-3 win for us. And the Islanders fire their coach and hire Billy Ray as a replacement. Kings again. And 7-4 win. Nice. Got a bunch of scoring in the third there.
The good news is you're about a week away from somebody coming back too who's been hurt.
Who did we have? All right, Goldsworthy. Okay, so the forwards will be in decent shape going into the playoffs. The D is potentially the problem now. And I'm going to give Hron's a lot of the starts down the stretch here, particularly against the weaker teams, just to minimize the chances of Milosh getting hurt.
No, don't make sure he keeps his heat up.
Yeah. 4-2 win over the Islanders. Jimmy Watson's almost healthy. Oh, wow, already?
Well, it was 1 to 2 months, so it's not impossible.
Yeah, 1 to 2 weeks already. Fast healer, that's good. And Milosh in against the Canadians, who are having a pretty good year, 3-3 tie. Larry Robinson out day to day. And Goldsworthy is back. So our captain is back. Speaking of whom, what's our harmony situation? He and Vadnais still hate each other.
It's a hatred that burns bright. Try and intervene it.
I can't. Goldsworthy's a captain.
Yeah, I forgot. Right.
Can't intervene on himself.
Well, he could, but it would just be very awkward conversations all around. I really think you should stop being angry at me. No. But I'm a good guy. No. So, Jeff, while you're continuing to move here,
Yep.
today,
Canucks
what
update.
happened in FHM News?
Oh, yeah, we did have a hotfix update out today for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. Found some problems that would kill custom games under certain circumstances. It was not a typical setup, but it was common enough that a couple of people had reported it already, so we thought it was best to deal with it now and fixed a few other things in the process, and we get a shutout over the Canucks. So will keep Milosh's heat up nicely. And Milosh is in fact the goalie of the month. And we got a development report here. Nice, lots of guys moving up. Buchanan headed down. Ooh, Harris really going down fast. This will be the last gasp for him, I think.
So sign him to a 10-year contract? That's what you're saying?
No, we actually put him in the lineup because Robinson's thumb hurts.
That's usually how that works.
And I'm going to bump morale up all the way to the top. As we got some points here to spend.
Now I'm trying to remember here. This is bad. Who did we picked up Mark Tardif. Who did we trade for him? We traded somebody, right? I'm going back to look at the transaction log. Cashman, that's right.
Yeah. Wayne Cashman, the rights to a couple of
Guys in a fifth
fairly
and seventh round pick.
middling prospects, and yeah, picks that won't really be anything. Uh, and we get Tardif. Yeah, that he was with the Bruins. How's Cashman doing now? He's back in Boston. 5 points in his first 9 games. Okay, just gonna rejuggle lines with Harris in there. And Milosh gets another shutout.
Nice.
And Robinson is almost back. That's good. And we are 13 points up with 4 games to, or 2 games to go in the season. So I think it's a safe bet that we are going to win the division. And in fact, no, Detroit could still theoretically pass us, but it's unlikely. And Robinson's thumb's still a little bit off, and now Goldsworthy's hurt himself again. Minor facial cut. Give Lowell McDonald a single game. And Huron can play against the Canucks. In fact, I think I'll give Huron both of the last 2 games. And we actually lose to the Canucks 4-2.
Who's in net for them?
Kurt Ridley.
Oh, Ridley.
Yep. And the last game of the season against Atlanta. Robinson is ready, so Harris can come out.
Okay. I was gonna say, do you before you go, do you have any predictions for if we get any nominations for trophies?
1 sec, let me. Just gonna give Labette the last game instead of McDonald. Trophy-wise, don't really have an MVP contender. Milosh absolutely for Vezina. Maybe Vadnais for Norris. Or even
See,
actually probably Salming for Norris. He just noticed
well, I was gonna say,
37.
yeah, Salming was up. I'm gonna make a bold prediction that I saved our season, and we are going to have a chance at being the coach of the year.
I guess it would be co-coaches of the year. And Ron gets a shutout in his last game of the year. It's only Atlanta, but still. So we finished first place overall in the regular season. And the Wings are 4 points behind us. And I know there's quite a bit of a drop off after us in Detroit, St. Louis, but other than that, we might have a shot here. And the award nominees are coming up, but let me just put Goldsworthy back in before I forget. Injury situation, Watson is day-to-day. His healing seems to slow down a little bit there, but he's almost back. And Savard 2 to 3 weeks, so maybe towards the end of the second round. Okay, award nominees. Guy Lafleur, Marcel Dion, and Rick Martin. None of which are ours. Ooh, Milosh did not get an Vezina nomination. Bernie Perron, Billy Smith, and Ken Dryden, which is a pretty tough lineup.
You robbed him by sitting him those last 2 games. Probably could have got those 2 extra wins and would have got in.
It actually probably was pretty close. Norris, again, none of our guys. What happened to, wait, where's Bobby Orr not in there? What happened to him this year?
He got hurt, I think, didn't he?
I'm not seeing him on the Bruins lineup, so 57 games only. I don't know, maybe I need to check that logic. That he should still have been a contender even with playing 2/3 of the season. Calder, as expected, Danny Potvin of the Penguins. And Lanny McDonald and Rick Middleton. Strong rookie class, but none of our guys. There we go, finally. Danny Grant is nominated for the Bing. Against Dion and Terry Caffrey of the Blues. He was actually having, yeah, he never really had a year like that in real life, I don't think. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, he had a couple of big years early in the WHA, but never really in the NHL. But he's got a 57-point season last year and 66 this year with the Blues.
Well then.
And we are nominated for Coach of the Year.
Oh, called it.
Or you just played ahead and saw it.
Absolutely not.
Okay, California versus Philadelphia. I don't think we've met them in the playoffs before.
I honestly can't remember.
But shouldn't be that difficult series, and Jimmy Watson is almost back, so might as well just take him off the injured list. And no, Bob Murdoch has migraines. May have to play through those at least the first day. Yes, he's still the healthiest defenseman we got. Flyers. So Bernie Perrant backed up by Dave Dryden. Pretty good goaltending. Guy Lapointe on D, but then nothing at all after that.
Well, we've robbed them of everything.
And the forwards are not particularly impressive. Andre Lacroix, who was a Flyer in real life before he jumped to the WHA and was that league's all-time leading scorer. I brought another WHA guy, Robbie Ftorek. Hasn't really broken out yet, but yeah, not an impressive team. This is just Bernie Perrant and a bunch of guys in front of him.
See, you say Robbie Ftorek, the WHA player. I think Robbie Ftorek, the coach who threw a bench on the ice.
He was a pretty good WHA player. He had one of those goofy Stan
Yeah,
McKee
he was.
helmets.
Yeah. He was, actually, yeah.
That I think they later found out was totally ineffective at preventing any injuries.
Well, that's lots of those early helmets were like that.
Okay, so game one against Perrant and the Flyers, and it's a 4-2 win.
Smelly Wrestling Geek has been playing around on FHM4 for nostalgia, and it's saying how many quality of life improvements have been made in the franchise over time.
Yeah, that's not true. They just do a roster update every year. Those guys suck. Right?
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Uh,
Nothing ever changes. It's the exact same thing.
His migraines. Murdoch still has his migraines. I'm gonna take a chance at Theris for a game. Did okay in the two that we had him in for, so. And that didn't work out well. Shut out 4-0 by Perrant.
Interesting.
So
I mean, Perrant's a good
get in there
goalie.
again, but fortunately Jim Watson's back. And is I screwed that up. Neely is in the wrong role because he's a forward / defenseman. I think that's why that didn't work properly. Williams a two-way defenseman. And game 3, 4-3 win. Buchanan for a start from the fourth line. Murdoch nearly healthy. Savard getting closer, but still a ways off.
Jeff, I need you to stop and do something that's very important right now.
What do I need to do?
Forgot to sign Mark Tardif to a new contract.
Oops, that would be a problem, yes.
Boiled egg, thanks for showing up. Yeah, I was just looking at things and like, oh yeah, we should definitely get him signed before he jumps ship to the WHA on us.
which is where he wound up in real life. Anybody else that we're urgently looking to re-sign? Gonna renew Sean Shanahan just for the depth. And because Sean Shanahan's a fun name to say.
John Shanahan, yeah.
Try Watson on the first pair on this one. Flyers beat us 4-3 in overtime. They're making us closer than it should be.
That's what happens when you bench Malash in the last couple games.
He's fine. Okay, Murdoch is finally healthy.
Now, Jeff, because you said without looking, can you tell me what teams Mark Tardif played for in the WHA?
Nordiques, LA Sharks. I think there's one other.
There is one other. And I would say
Michigan
it was the
Stags.
second best logo. Yes, it was the Michigan Stags. Michigan Stags logo is a beautiful logo.
Yep, there we go. I was right. Oh, I did have the order wrong. I thought it was the Stags ahead of the Sharks.
I mean, the Sharks logo is great too.
Okay, game 5. Really need a win here, and we get it 3-0 from Malash. See, he's well
I would say
rested.
the WHA had some surprisingly good logos, with the odd terrible
The
ones.
70s in general had pretty good logos.
Yeah. I'll say, having gone through a bunch of them lately for something, yes, I would agree. Other than
Okay. Right.
other than our favorite minor league team, Jeff,
I forgot which one was it. Tell me the city.
Roanoke.
Oh, yeah, I'll go. Okay, the unfortunate one. Yeah. Okay, game 6. Let's see if we can end it here. And we can. 5-3. Dennis All with 3 assists in the first star. And in the next round, we get the Rangers. So the first round series, Detroit got upset or nearly got upset by the Sabres. Took them 7 games.
Ooh, interesting.
Close. Chicago did upset St. Louis, so that's good for us because St. Louis has been tough against us. And the Rangers, as expected, narrowly over the Canadiens. And Rangers, yeah, pretty good team. We've had trouble with them before. We beat them. Didn't we beat them in the finals and then they beat us the next year?
I believe so. I believe that's how that went.
And John Garrett has taken over for Ed Jockman in goal. And they've got Bob Daly, who I think we looked at in the draft. Brad Park, who's got a little bit of an injury. But yes, the lineup hasn't changed too much from their cup years, but they've got some guys who are slowing down a little. Oh, they picked up Reggie Leach, it looks like. He's starting to take off. And Salaps Jr. as well. Yeah, they've kind of transitioned pretty well out of those teams. And they got old Carl and Brewer still playing defense for them. I brought him in from the Islanders this year.
Smelly Wrestling Geek says, any speculation on who you guys think's getting traded at the deadline this year?
For the Canucks, I don't know. They got to make a decision soon on whether or not we're going to contend. I think that really depends on the Demko and Hughes injuries.
Well, I just saw Demko's week to week.
Yeah, again.
Hughes is, I don't know. Who's going to get moved? There's going to be somebody surprising. Like, if Elias Pettersson gets moved, it's not going to shock me.
They seem to go in the other direction with trading Miller, though, so I don't know.
I know, but there's always somebody who you're like, oh, I wasn't expecting that trade.
Game 1 against the Rangers, and it's a 4-1 win. Boris Salming with 3 points, so off to a good start. And how's Savard coming along? Yeah, he's day-to-day, so onto the active roster. Don't really need to send Ted Harris down, but I'll just get him out of the way there. And Savard should be back. Weird that I'm not getting the fitness problems at center that you were. Although adding the fourth center in the lineup may have fixed that, I guess.
Yeah.
And an easy 6-2 win over the Rangers in Game 2. So in very good shape now. Development report. Another nice one. Hedberg continues to go up. Same with Nielsen.
I'm trying to think here. Who else?
Oh, Goldsworthy declined on a couple of things and is down to 2.5 stars. Oh, Danny Grant
Yeah,
as
he's been
well, and
declining
Dennis
for the last little bit.
Sullivan. Yeah, this isn't great. Oh, and for some reason, Murray Wilson's only 22 is gone. Lost a couple of points.
I'm going to be really interested if Dylan Cousins ends up moving.
And
That's one no one just seems to know.
Hall of Fame nominee. Not much of a choice here. Pat Egan or Todd Sloan. Pat Egan was New York American.
So can there be an option added there, Jeff, to say none?
Actually, I didn't need to vote, and I could have just gone with nobody, but I went with Sloan. Egan was sort of Eddie Shore's assistant in Springfield during the years where he was terrorizing everybody there.
Yeah.
And Game 3 against the Rangers. Let's take a commanding lead. Yep, in overtime this time, no, but still, it's a 2-1 win. Serge Savard almost ready, so presumably we're... Oh, no, he is ready. Just at 80%, though, so I'm not going to play him just yet.
Play him.
Unless he's at 100. No, he managed to cut himself somehow in practice.
He told you should have played him.
Okay, let's just finish this off against the Rangers. Get the sweep. Yep, 3-0 shut up on Losh. And we just blow right through the Rangers. 3-0 sweep, and we got the Hawks in the finals. So apparently there is an upset there. How many games did it take them to do? 7 games against the Wings. So it's not like Chicago's a bad team, but the Wings were definitely the favorite. So they got a couple of injured players, but it isn't key guys. Reggie Fleming still in the league at 38. And somewhat productive, too. Bobby Hull, 35, slowing down a little bit. Stan Mikita, 33, likewise. Not a whole lot after them. Pitt Martin. This is basically what the Hawks would have looked like in the 70s if Hull hadn't jumped to the WHA. The defense looks, that's not good at all. Gary Bergman, young Jim Schoenfeld, and I got guys who are going to be good in a few years, but they're too young now. But good goaltending, Chico Resch and Doug Favell in goal. Doug Favell, who used to be our starter way back in 1969, we traded him, 69-70. He's bounced around a bit, but Resch is presumably going to play most of the games against us now, our lineup. Savard is healthy. So out goes Murdoch. Oops, wrong Savard. That would have been embarrassing. Andre Savard on defense, and Bob Murdoch as the third line center. Probably not a good idea. Okay, and we get basically the healthy version of our lineup just in time for the finals. Nice timing. Smelly Wrestling Geek in the chat. Odds of the U.S. and Canada rematch being as good as the first? We'll see. And how about Chris Russo calling the fights in that first game fake? Yeah. What's that? Whose line was it? If hockey fights were fake, I'd be in more of them.
I mean, would you not want to punch Matthew Tkachuk if you had the chance?
Yeah.
Or Brady Tkachuk?
Or Keith
Or
Kachuk for
Keith?
that matter. Yeah. And it's a 4-2 win in the first game. And Mark Tardif, our trade deadline acquisition, pays off. He's the first star with 2 goals. The quest for our second cup. Off to a nice start. Everybody's at 100% health. We are rolling here. 3-1 win. Danny Grant this time with first star. Game 3. Let's keep going. Yeah, 4-1. Oh, come on, Savard again. Bone bruise, 2 to 3 weeks. Can I? Yes, delay treatment on that. You're playing through this one. You got 1 game to go. Come on.
Come on.
Oh, and the Toronto Toros have won the AVCO Cup again, apparently.
Interesting.
They won it last year as the Ottawa Nationals, so see if they can do it again as the Birmingham Bulls when they move the next time. Last game of the season, no. 3-2 loss to the Hawks. So, oh, Watson's hurt now too. I think for this last game, I'm going to swap Savard down to the second pair and just cut his minutes just a bit. And there we go. That's an emphatic win. 7-0 over the Hawks. And that is our second cup. So
Very nice.
Flyers actually gave us more trouble than anybody else. 6 games, sweep over the Rangers, and a near sweep over the Hawks. Just missed 1 game. Savard was playing with injury, team reveals. Yes, he was. And I'm going to take a quick, well, here's the regular season stats first. Pronovo, I think that's his second year leading the team in scoring.
Boiled egg, I'd say they're still missing the butcher from Barry, but that's just my personal choice.
And the other surprises, Hedberg and Nielsen. Nielsen actually went down a little bit. So did Hedberg. Less scoring from those 2, even though we gave them more ice time. It's interesting. You can, another solid year. Good half year from Andre Savard. If he played the whole season, he would have been a Rookie of the Year candidate, maybe. But I want to see the playoffs. So yeah, there we go. I guess that trade paid off. Tardif with 15 points in 50 games. I wonder if he's going to get the Smythe. Unless it's, might be Milosh. Prono, Andre Savard again, still in the playoffs. 12 points in 15 games from the third line. Good playoff from Robinson as well. And Milosh played every minute of the playoffs. 1 point. Oh yeah, he's getting the Smythe for sure. He's got a 1.71 goals against average and a 917 save percentage. Starting to get some off-season deals now, and well, we got the interleague draft.
Good news is you can protect basically everybody.
Yeah. Haran is still young, so we can protect Wayne Thomas as well. outside chance we lose somebody like Katola, but
Strong chance.
probably not. And this is
Strong
the
chance.
yeah.
This is the future talking to you.
So those who don't know, this is the interleague draft. They used to do this at the end of the season. Basically, the equivalent of the later waiver draft, just at a different time of the year, where everybody has to do something like sort of like expansion draft rules, where you protect, in this case, 18 skaters, 2 goalies, then anybody else can be drafted by another team. So just a balancing thing, because the NHL certainly had some balance problems in the 70s.
Well, so the expansion drafts were not exactly kind.
Yeah. So a decent selection of goalies kind of drops off when it gets to the skaters, though. So Michel Plas goes from the Stars to the Flames. Looks like we had a skip pick there. Wayne Rutledge from the Bruins to the Leafs. And Maniago leaves the Leafs and goes to the Islanders, so the Leafs switch back up goalies. Jim Cahoon. Don't know that name. It's picked up by the Canucks. Career AHLer.
And
Yeah,
he was the second pick in mine.
great use of pick, Vancouver. That's why you're in last place. Another skip
Well, it's
pick.
because they're in Vancouver.
And Boston selects their own player, Earl Anderson, to protect them. Bob Wall to the Sabres. Jerry Desjardins to the Penguins. Wayne Carlton from the Bruins to the Flyers. Oh, we got, and you're right. Katola goes to the Canadiens, so we can protect somebody. And it's going to be Black because he's the only other one really worth protecting.
Interesting. He went to Chicago in my game.
And Jerry Hart from the Bruins to the Rangers. Wayne Gaudy from the Flyers to the Penguins. Or Hawks, rather. Michel Parizeau to the Blues. Gary Kurt to the Wings. And what do we got here? We got some goalies. We don't really need a goalie.
Bob Colyard.
Yeah. Was an NHLer in real life, briefly.
But actually, he is a WHA guy, so.
Oh, is he? Yeah, he's. Wait, no. Is he?
Yeah, he played one game with the Sharks.
Yeah, so we just be grabbing him for his rights.
Oh, wait, sorry. That was in my game. Maybe he wasn't in yours.
No, he is. Actually, there's an interesting one. Pierre Bouchard. We grabbed him from Toronto. And that would be because we're going to lose a couple of guys to free agency on defense, I think. So I'm going to take Bouchard. And that is the end of that. Oh,
Who is Pierre Bouchard?
He's the guy that got beaten up by Stan Jonathan in the '78 playoffs. I think that fight's on YouTube if you want to watch a really one-sided fight where a little guy beats up a big guy. You know, we had a clique for him, but already knocked it down to 3. I think
You are okay. Welcome.
And the award ceremony coming up.
Okay, hold on. Who do you think gets a Conn Smythe?
I'm going to say it's Milosh.
I need to see playoff stats.
That, again, is the playoff stats. It'll be Tardif for Milosh, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be Milosh.
Ooh, so here's the big key thing. That trade of to get Mark Tardif has really paid off there, though.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, how did
Pronovost played well, too.
Yeah, Cashman tailed off after a decent start with the Bruins, so we'll see how that works out for them. But the award ceremony. Hart is Marcel Dion of Pittsburgh, 111 points. Good year for him. Here's a Smythe. I think it's going to be Milosh. Yes, it is. Joe Milosh. Denny Potvin with the Calder. Bill Height, surprisingly, Detroit. I wonder if I've got him rated a little too high off, or maybe were they playing him on the first pair with the Howe line? Maybe that's why he put up a bunch of points. He was never that big a scorer in real life. Ken Dryden gets the Vezina, and
Charlie Brown.
I am the coach of the year.
Charlie Brown.
I guess.
You are.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm the one that won the cup.
Well, guess what? I won the cup in mine here, so
Oh, and the All Star
I believe I'm the
teams.
one who constructed this team.
Oh, we didn't get anybody on the All Star teams at all.
I would say right now you should probably slap some guys on the trade block.
Yeah, just so we maybe get something for them in the off
Well, I'm
season.
even thinking
Maybe
about
that
some of these
big.
guys who are dropping like flies in terms of percentage. Like maybe it's time to look at moving Bill Goldsworthy.
I was
If we
literally
get
just going to do that. Yep,
and
Buchanan again.
yeah, back on.
We only we brought him back because the owner insisted on it. And it worked out well. I mean, we got a cup with it, even if he didn't really score much. And
And
St.
who's
Louis
he?
probably got
Dan Maloney was Maloney going down?
no Maloney's fine. He's still 23s.
No, I know, but who else was going down in that last one?
Dennis
Uh,
Hall did, but I don't. But he's got such great chemistry with Hedberg and Nielsen. I don't want to take him off. He's basically in his brother's spot with them. I'm going to leave it for there for now. What will California do with Bill Goldsworthy? An excellent question. Okay, happiness budget can come down most of the way. Same with game promotion. Let's save a little money. We've got a nice pile thanks to that playoff run. And the click broke up on its own. That's good news. Okay, Hall of Fame ballot. Johnny Bauer, yeah. Bernie Jeffrey on Doug Harvey. Oh, and we got one more to use. Yeah, let's go with Busher Jackson. He was sort of unfairly kept out of the hall for quite a while because Conn Smythe didn't like him because he drank too much. And Bouchard, who we just got in the interleague draft, that's what I wanted to say, is in an off-ice incident, and that has annoyed Goldsworthy somehow. So yeah, maybe we're shopping for a different captain this year. Oh, big trade. Flyers trade their best player, Andre Lacroix, to the Wings for their good young defenseman, Dale Talon.
Interesting.
Flyers got somebody coming up. So, yeah, Fedoruk is... Oh, and Bill Clement has actually developed really quickly for them, too. But they got... Fedoruk probably winds up in the scoring center role next year, and they just really improved their D as soon as they've got Talon being able to play with LaPointe. They may be interesting next year. Got a contract extension, good.
I mean, you won the Stanley Cup. It'd be kind of bad to get shown the door. Well,
And runoff Bernie Jeffrey on the Hall of Fame. Yeah, that would be a bit of a surprise.
I mean, what are we, Barry Trotz?
And absolutely nothing we can do about any of the intervention situations because they all involve Bill Goldsworthy. Okay, bunch of late season trades and rumors flying around. And we got a proposal from the Islanders. They want to trade us Trache. Just the wrong one.
Wrong Trotz. Okay.
Yeah.
Smelly Wrestling Geek says, what makes a player great, good, bad, or terrible fit be possible, I was thinking of ratings 18 to 20 for great, 14 to 17 for good, 10 to 13 for bad, and anything less for terrible. It seems very difficult for players to fit I'm thinking many tactics currently.
I'll take a look at it. I don't know. It's our seems to have a decent spread here. I'll see if it's looking that way for all teams, though. I mean, it's still going to do the same thing. Those are just verbal indicators. The actual effect will be the same regardless of what description we put on them. And no, nobody defenseman for Labatt pass. And solid season score, so we can improve our coaching a bit. Actually, our trainer ratings were all a little bit low. Okay. So able to do a lot of improvement that time. Last day of the season, we'll get to the changeover. Dave Schultz, now Canuck. We had him for a little while, but did we trade him?
I think he got taken in the draft. We couldn't protect him.
Oh, the expansion draft. Yeah. Speaking of which, we got 2 new teams. The Washington Capitals and the Kansas City Scouts. And we've also got divisional realignment. So we were in with the, it's kind of tough. Sabres aren't bad. Leafs aren't good. Bruins are pretty good too. So fairly rough division. And I will set up our annual budget. Wages should be fine. And we won the cup, so let's raise the ticket price by $1. And here we go with the expansion draft, which has tighter eligibility rules than or at least less permissive eligibility rules than the interleague drafts. So I've got to be careful about who I protect here. Yeah, 7 more to go. Okay, now it gets tough. I think I'm going to have to predict Golds. Well, I mean, we could get rid of Goldsworthy that way. Letting him get selected in the expansion draft. He had a terrible year last year. He's down to 2.5
Well, leaving
stars.
him open. Could we trade him to one of the expansion drafts? That wouldn't be the worst idea. Or expansion teams. Expansion drafts, that sounds weird.
Two spots left. Andre Savardin, you're not going to like him, but I'm going to leave Schuberg open.
Yeah. Jeff. No, leave. Don't do that to me.
Sorry, you may lose a jet here.
Schubert was one of our initial signings. Come on. Brutal.
We still might get to re-protect them, because every time we lose a player, we can protect another one. So, Capitals picking first, and they're going to go for the goalies first, and they take Dave Dryden off of the Flyers. Scouts next, and they took Bernie Wolf, who actually wound up being a Capital in real life from us, but now we get to protect a player. So there we go. Happy now? Schubert is protected.
I am.
Oh, wait, I can't. It has to be a goalie.
Oh, really? You have to protect a goal? That's interesting.
Yeah, so it's got to be Wayne Thomas. Has to be the same position, or same position group at least. Bill McKenzie of the Capitals, who was actually a scout slash Rocky in real life, so they reverse goalies there. Oh, John Davidson, been in the minors for the Rangers, winds up in Kansas City, so he's probably going to be their starter eventually. Now on to the skaters, and Nick Labette is the first one picked, so there we go. We can protect Schuberg. And Bill Goldsworthy is the second one pick. Well, guess what? I can protect another Jet, Willie Lindstrom. See,
All right,
there we
good.
go. Everything turned out great for you.
And actually, you just fixed all of our
Yeah, with all the morale things.
harmony problems.
Yeah, with Goldsworthy going to Kansas City, we just need to find a new captain.
Well, time to
Pick
promote
for the draft.
Lars Eric.
Ron Buchanan goes to the Capitals. So that will be, I think I'm going to protect Bob Murdoch there. And Lowell McDonald, we're losing a few guys here. Fourth, that was an expensive draft for us. Now, Wilson was going downhill. LeBreton hasn't really taken off. Bordelot is a little ahead of him. And Wentzik came along nicely and had 411 penalty minutes last year, too. I'm just a little worried that if I take Wilson, he was already going downhill last year, and he's 2 stars, so I think there's a decent chance he gets selected, which let me protect somebody else, so I'm going to go for Bordelot.
It's understandable.
Yep, there goes Wilson, and I can grab LeBreton to fill in with that, and I really hope we don't lose Wentzik. Nothing so far. Capitals and Scouts are actually looking better than they did in real life. Oh, Lars Lindgren, who's been in the minors for us, gets picked. So I can secure Wentzik that way. I don't think we're going to lose anybody else. And we don't. And the amateur
Did we
draft.
just
Yeah, we got time for that.
say? Did we just give like the best guys compared to everybody else? Is that?
No, I think we just had too much depth and it finally caught up with us. So, what's our depth chart looking like? Still, I mean, I should sign Zetterstrom, the Swede we drafted a couple of years ago, just to fill in some depth there before the draft. But nobody else I really care to hang on to. We still got enough forwards. Although I do have to call some of those guys up, I guess. Or I may leave that to you at the start of the next game or next week.
Leaving it all to me. I see how it is.
Amateur draft. I will check very quickly the free agent centers. Is there anybody worthwhile? Nope, not really. So this is the Trottier draft, if I'm not mistaken. Trottier and... yeah, this is a good one. Ken Nielsen in there as well, Dennis Marook, Michael Ute. A lot of these guys wound up in the WHA or didn't make it to the league for a few while. Now Randy Carlisle, too. This is a very good draft.
Good because we have the 18th pick.
Yeah. And the Caps go for Dennis Marook and the first overall pick. Scouts for Dave Taylor. Nobody going for Trottier yet. Carlisle to the Flames. They go for the first defenseman. Reed Larson to the Kings, also a defenseman. Kent Nielsen to the Leafs.
Okay, hold on.
What?
We're at what, pick 4? We should be trying to trade up to get Trottier.
I'll give it one more pick. If he doesn't go, I'll trade for it. Try to trade for it. All right, I'll keep trade to the Islanders. Who is the draft order here? You're going to make me steal from Vancouver.
Absolutely, I am. Jeff.
Okay, well, they already got Pearl. They don't need another center. What are their weaknesses? Probably everything.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on
Goalie and
my
right
side
defense,
here.
and we're loaded up with right defensemen.
Well, I'll throw Wayne Thomas in there. Actually, I guess you don't have any goalie depth whatsoever, so Wayne Thomas might be a little risky, but
Yeah, you can always find a third string goalie. Uh,
what defenseman are you thinking?
Could I ask for Bob Lorimer back? Lorimer in the pick.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jeff, this got it.
What?
Wayne Thomas, Bob Neely, and our first round pick.
Did you have Lorimer in there too, or did you take that out?
Nope. No, I didn't have him.
I'm just going to leave him because I want the depth, and next year is going to be a terrible draft
Defenseman?
for everything because it's the year they changed the age limit.
You said Lorimer, right? You're...
Yeah, I'm going to throw in a fourth rounder from next year.
Well, just try it with.
Yep,
Hold on.
they'll do it. They'll do it. It's fine.
They
Fourth
do it
rounder,
without the
first.
fourth rounder. They wouldn't. They do it without the fourth rounder.
Don't try to completely rip them off. Okay, so back to the draft.
It's a terrible draft. I'm giving them a fourth rounder.
And we will take Brian Trottier. So who do they wind up taking with our pick? There goes Jets legend Morris Lukowich to the Penguins. Who I think had his NHL rights in... No, that was Brother Bernie. And the Canucks actually don't do too badly. They get Guy Chouinard, who was pretty good for a few years of the Flames, but faded out relatively young. And our next pick, surprisingly, Ron Greshner is still around. So that's on Danny Gear as well. See, this is a really good draft. And all these guys are getting picked now. They're going to bump the draft year next year, and it'll really strip, most of the talent will have been stripped out from this draft. Because it's basically the same age group getting drafted again. But I think we got to go for Greshner. Gear would be nice as well, but... And you said we could use some goalie depth after trading Thomas. Yeah. So Mario Lessard or Réjean Lemelin. I'm going to go for Lemelin because Lessard had a fairly short career and Reggie was around forever.
I was going to say, yeah. Reggie, yeah.
And into the fifth round, Danny Gear's still around, although he's maybe team shying away because he's got a broken elbow.
I was going to say, I think Lessard was actually, well, in my game, he's signed to the WHA already.
Oh, yeah, there we go. That's why they're avoiding him. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention there. All these guys are WHA signed, so teams aren't going for them as quickly, so we're just drafting for rights, really.
Well, that's okay. Actually, looking, I don't know if he's still available. If we want a second goalie, Mike Palmetier is buried down the depth chart a little bit there.
Not really. So many good players here that have already signed to the WHA. And our time frame is kind of limited because Steve isn't going to be around forever. Could make things really confusing and sign the other Bob Murdoch and try to at least draft the other Bob Murdoch.
Is Doug Reisenbrow still there?
Risebrow is with the Jets. He's still there, but he's signed to the WHA. Who isn't? Okay, Dave Lumley. Future Oiler in real life is still in college, so I will grab him. And might as well just take a flyer on one of these WHA guys.
Harry Rakowski still there?
Skowski's still there, but I think I'm going to take Bob Bourne, who I think actually. Oh, wait. Not letting me pick him. That's odd.
Are you done the draft? I think you're done the draft. Yeah. 90 picks in, the draft's
Yep,
done.
that would make sense. And we got the little Easter egg thing, the 54th overall pick. So finally got
Nice.
that achievement. Ah, damn it, damn it, damn it. I continued,
What?
forgot to sign.
Oh, no.
Okay,
Did you lose
let's,
anyone?
yeah, let's very quickly. Yeah, okay, yeah, okay, there we go. That's why Greshner was available. He signed to Minnesota. Let's get Dave Lumley out of college.
I don't think Trache is the number one priority.
And since we don't have entry level contracts in this era, I'm going to offer him a bunch more money coming out of junior, which is something that the real NHL teams had to do in this era too.
Oh, man. Our goalie is actually WHA signed too. Probably.
Yep. Okay. So I will have to quickly try to find a goalie. I already made an offer to Zetterstrom. Who else is in there? Anybody free agent wise that we can?
Oof.
Where'd all the goalies go?
Everybody signed. The only guys I see looking, again, my game might be different than yours, is 32-year-old Ken Broderick,
Yeah,
signed with Hershey.
WHA goalie in real life. Yeah, might as well keep him around as the fourth stringer.
Third stringer.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, then I need to sign Ed Walsh too. Okay, alarmingly thin in goal. No,
I mean, you have two starting quality goaltenders.
well, Ron is still kind of young.
I know, but in a pinch, I mean,
Okay. At least we're getting to negotiate with Trache. Doesn't want to sign quite yet, though. Zetterstrom signs, but he's way down the depth chart. You. Okay. That's a relief. Trache does sign with us. So we lose a bunch of depth to the expansion draft, but we get a very good rookie back. And yeah, we're going to have to bring up some guys from the farm team. Well, I mean, Eric Vale was ready to come up anyhow. And Lindstrom played a big chunk of the season too, so.
actually, the big decision to
for
make
you,
right now is more important looking at the roster.
which is,
Who's the captain?
good point. Best leadership rating is Pronovo. Also on a high determinant, it's also Pronovo, so I think we can just jump him in straight into the captain role over Lemaire and Savard.
Yeah, that is not bad either, but Pronovo makes sense.
Yeah. So I think we're still in very good shape.
Just do look at your team harmony.
Should be clean. Totally clean. Everybody loves each other now that Goldsworthy's gone. And just out of curiosity, I'm going to take a quick look at the Kansas City Scouts, who, wow, that's pretty uniform. Almost 2 stars almost all the way through, except Brewer is 1.5 and Goldsworthy is 2.5. So this is actually a better team than the actual Scouts were, I think.
Or the Capitals are better too.
Yep, maybe slightly worse than the Scouts, but where'd they get Bordelot from? The Rangers, and Nick Labette from us. So it's going to, a bunch of guys who weren't getting playing time before are going to wind up putting up points this year. Wow, that's really Leafs heavy defense. Jim Dory, Brian Glennie, Rick Lay. And Dave Dryden starting for Washington. And just over in the WHA, anything interesting going on there? Forgot to look at them at the end of last season. What do your Jets look like, Adam? Still Joe Daly. Yeah, they've got Bob Bourne. That's why he was available in the draft. And nobody touched him. Same with Risebrough. They just signed Norm Cornway, who we let go because we had no use for. Interesting team, but still I think Toronto's the best team there. George Ferguson's turning into a pretty good player. Although their goaltending's not great. But I think we can call that a successful stream. Another Stanley Cup. Coach of the Year award.
Yeah.
Lost a few players, but nobody we can't live without. But you want to wind it up there?
Sure. Thank you very much for tuning in to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Franchise Hockey Manager, as well as twitch.tv/OOTB Developments. All of our streams are archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Development. Excuse me. OOTP Developments as well, with stream archives going live typically Saturdays at about 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for European viewers. Of course, you can reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. You can also find us on Instagram and Threads as Franchise Hockey Manager. We are on Bluesky, which is our main thing we're sending messages from, which is franchisehockey.bluesky.social. Of course, you can come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner, which will bring you to the official forums and come talk about Franchise Hockey Manager, Out of the Park Baseball, Perfect Team Go, or anything else you wish to discuss. Jeff, did I miss anything?
Nope, although I think I may have been a little too generous with Trotche. We made him the best player on the team by about 40, or my highest paid player on the team by about 40% over everybody else. So I know how thrilled the veterans will be with that.
Now we know what kills the California Golden Seals.
Overpaying for
paying Brian Trotche.
Yeah,
paying Trotche too much.
Okay, but I think that covers pretty much everything. If there's if you haven't updated the game yet, there is a hotfix update out today. If you're be particularly of interest, if you play the custom games, because there's a few things that could have gone seriously wrong without that. But it also fixes a problem with the affiliations in historical games if you're starting a new one. And we rearranged the historical challenges list a little bit, just cosmetically. There's nothing new in it yet, but there will be a dozen new historical challenges coming for the minor leagues in the final update after the trading deadline in November. So we are continuing to work on that and have some other things coming for that as well. So stay tuned and we'll keep updating you on that. Otherwise, we'll be back in another week, and we get to see if Adam can keep the dynasty going.
Here's hoping.
It would be nice. Thanks for coming out, everybody, and we'll see you a week from now.